Hi everyone. Just wanted to shoot a really quick video, um, and this is primarily for anyone that has got a service-based business, or most specifically, a marketing agency. Now, it seems like marketing and marketing agencies in general are the rage right now. They're kind of the in thing to get into for anyone that has a current business, has a bit of money to set aside to growing a business. Because it seems as though it's a quick way to make money. Now, with that means that you should be very scared if you're only just getting into this, because it shows you that it's not all it's probably meant to be in terms of the glamour and the fact that you can sign clients for thousands of pounds a month, and you're going to be jetting off to Barbados every month. Now, that's the number one reason people start, and that's also why they fail, because they're not in it for the long run, and they don't genuinely care about what they're providing. Now, going back to why I'm shooting this video, I've been getting so many messages, direct messages on the back of a post that just came about on a marketing agency Facebook group. So it's got a couple of thousand members within there. And it was actually someone that tagged me in on this, because I've been working with them quite closely over the past couple of weeks to really scale our agencies. And during that post, there was a lot of information that gave value away. It gave value away as to how I've been able to scale so quickly within what is traditionally a very quiet period for not just marketing agencies, but all businesses. We're in the month of December, put the tree up yesterday, and a lot of people are really slowing down. But I find this period amazing for growth. Now, everyone's been reaching out to me as to how I've been able to do it when they're all struggling. They're sat on a couple of clients that they just can't scale it that little bit more. A lot of people hit brick walls. Now, to kind of hit all those birds with one stone, I wanted to just make everyone aware that you're going to get those blocks. It's not all fun and games. As much as you're trying to scale your business, there's going to be those brick walls, and you're going to find rejection. You're going to hit that. Now, if you're in it for the long run, you need to understand that that is just going to take place. And actually, the people that hate rejection are the people that judge themselves too harshly. They're worried about what others think, and they deem the F word, failure, as something that is extremely negative. Now, when you set out in business, none of the mega entrepreneurs out there really preach that, do you know what, there's a very high chance that you are not going to make it. This is not for everyone. And believe it or not, I portray something a little bit different on my social media, but genuinely when I'm not having the time of my life, which I've worked very hard to be able to do, I'm bleeding my bloody eyes out. Like, I'm working through the night. I'm not able to sleep. It's bloody difficult. It's so hard. Now, that's something that, isn't in the job description. That's not something that we sign up to do. However, you need to be prepared to do it, because honestly, the tallest mountains have the best view. And you just need to accept that. Like, there's going to be hurdles. You're going to trip over a few times. And you're going to feel like you're out of breath and you just cannot keep going. But honestly, it sounds like something that you'll hear time and time again, but handling rejection, it's just part and parcel of the game. We're in this for that reason. So when you get knocked down 10 times, you get up the 11th time. And that's just what you have to do. And a lot of people, they'll throw in the towel. They say they can't do it. They can't scale. They can't get to that next part. And it's all because they've been rejected, and probably rejected quite a few times. Every entrepreneur, and they'll be lying if they say that they haven't, they've been rejected. For me, I've been rejected countless times, like hundreds, not just within business, but also in my life. Now, a calm water never created a skilled sailor. So you need those rejections. You need them, because then you're going to stand the test of time. When you finally get that yes, you might sign up a very big client that you might have been working on for a couple of months, and then it finally happens, you're going to be so much better off if you've handled rejections leading up to that point. You'd have hardened your skin. You would have got yourself into a position whereby you're now a proper business owner because you've handled the rejection. Now, we live in 2018, soon to be 2019, where everything's made out to be glamorous and easy. That's not the case. As I said, you'll bleed your fucking eyes out. Trust me, you will. But you need to put up with that. You need to be actually excited by that, like I was when I started out. And if I backtrack a little bit, I actually said to my girlfriend when I started this journey, I said, I've been building businesses since I was 14. Some of them have failed. Some of them have failed massively. All of them have slapped me around the face. Not girls, but the businesses. Yeah, they've all slapped me in the face some way, shape or form. But my passion was in marketing. And I said to her, I said, look, I'm going to build this thing and it's going to be worth a lot of money. And it's going to make me retire. And I'll never actually retire, but it's going to make me retire in my early 30s. I'm 24 right now. But honestly, if nothing happens with this for the next year, like if I stay stagnant and I'm not able to go on holiday every month and I'm not able to, pay for certain things that I may want, I don't care because I love this. And honestly, when you can get to that point and you can say that it's not about the money, it's not about the amount of clients I've got on my spreadsheet, it's genuinely about growing something and doing it for the hustle, which I'm kind of against. Like, I believe that you should build a business for lifestyle, but there should be a point where you really do need to dig deep. You need to go through that. It's just part and parcel of it. And actually, a lot of the people that have reached out to me on Facebook on the back of that post and My Success Now, they're so early on in the process that they need to go through it. You just need to see it as part of the process. So handling rejection, having people say no, and you maybe trying to get a new client for a couple of months and it not happening, and you're still at the same level, whatever level that may be. And of course, everyone sees success as different things. You just need to know that you just need to keep marching on. That's really, really what it comes down to. Now, to go a little bit deeper into that, the next thing that you need to do to actually minimize the amount of rejection that you get and to ensure that you're enjoying what you're doing is, are you speaking to the right person? Now, a lot of people, when they've only just started out on their business, they will get, they'll speak to a business owner. They might have done a cold call, because that's what you need to do when you're starting out in business, right? No one knows who you are. You've not built up a portfolio. You're not getting any sort of referrals, which when you're at a certain level, you can kind of rely on them as long as you're getting incredible results. You have to go out there. And when someone gets the slightest nod, or yes, I'll see you for a meeting, or give me 5 minutes and I'll talk to you. When someone gets that, their heart starts pounding, it's the best thing ever, and their heart and soul is on this meeting, right? That's where you're fucking up, because you're putting everything into that meeting and you're thinking that this is like the gold mine. They're going to love me. They're going to want my services. That's not the case, because you probably haven't qualified them in the right way. So what you need to do is really drill down into, and this comes back to thinking like a CEO. It's a potential partnership. You're not trying to get every Tom, Dick and Harry out there. Sorry for your Americans, but it is it's like an English phrase. We've got a shit sense of humor. You need to make sure that you're speaking to the right person. So that's a business owner that has got budget. They know what marketing is, and they can have a real down-to-earth conversation with you about business growth. Now, for me, if they don't tick those boxes, I'm not even going to sit down with them, because they may want to talk. They'll probably, sit me down for a couple of hours, waste my time, and then they'll haggle on price. And this is where people will then put their price rock bottom, and they'll self-sabotage for the future. Absolute nightmare. You do not want them kind of clients. I'm at the point now where I'm very, very strict with who I will take on. And you need to get to that point, because if you're not speaking to the right person, so they don't have the budget in place, they don't understand marketing, and are not willing to grow, you should not be sat with them. Because anything outside of that, you're probably going to find some rejection. And if you don't find rejection, you'll find them being a really tough client to deal with. And that comes down to not just marketing agencies, but all service-based businesses as well, because you need to qualify them in the right way. You need to be really, really strict with who you want to talk to, because otherwise you're just going to be shooting yourself in the foot. You're plowing loads of energy into something, and then you might have had 5 meetings and they all just disintegrate, or you're making a very, very small margin because you've knocked down your price and you're not able to fulfill the deal in the best way. That's horrific. But I see so many people doing it, and you really need to eliminate that, because it's a limiting belief, and limiting beliefs mean that you're not going to get the right clients. Now, the third thing that you really need to do is position yourself. To get the right clients, you need to position yourself in the best way possible. And that comes down to a number of things. It comes down to case studies and sending them as many different reasons why they would work with you, and kind of flipping the salesperson and kind of customer dynamic, where they're coming to you. They're like, okay, I'm seeing results. So you need to send them case studies of their niche and the people that you're getting results for already. Send that over to them. It will completely flip things on their head, and make sure that you're doing that on a consistent basis. Any potential deal that you've got, make sure you're sending them case studies, because that's really going to help position yourself up here. What you also need to do is, under positioning yourself, is also framing everything. Now, what a frame is before every client interaction, you know how it's going to go. You're not letting them take control of the call, the conversation, the meeting. It comes down to you framing it, and that is the very first interaction that you have with them. You tell them exactly how it's going to go. You say, I've got 30 minutes set aside for today, because I do have quite a stacked diary. Is that okay for you? And what that's going to do is it's going to position you as an authority within your niche, because you don't have the time to be, haggling and sat there for an hour an hour, maybe 2 hours, because you want to get stuff done. It's not all about them. You've got clients to sort out, and otherwise you'll just run yourself into the ground. Trust me, I've been there. So you need to position yourself as a CEO, as someone that knows exactly what they're doing and knows how to get results. And you need to do all those things, roll them into one, and make sure that you've then got something that you say on every single interaction. So you set precedent at the start of the call. This is the most crucial thing. If you can take anything from this, it is to make people aware of why you're there, what you're going to do for them, and how long the conversation is going to take. And they'll have a lot more respect for you, trust me. Now, the final part of that is be willing to walk. Trust me, guys, if you're willing to walk away, and genuinely willing to walk away, they will sense that. If you're not, they'll sense that as well. They'll sense you as being needy, you need this, and it's just going to come across really, really messy. So I know that if you're a relatively small business, a big deal can mean a lot. If you've got that potential fish on a hook and it's just a case of bringing them in, you're going to be gutted if it slips. Excuse the pun. If that slips, you're going to be heartbroken. And trust me, it's happened to me so many times this year. But what's really got me to the point where I know exactly what I want, kind of clients that I want, is be willing to walk if they don't fit the bill. So you're qualifying them to make sure that they're a good potential partnership for you, as much as they want your services, because this is a relationships game. It's all about making sure that in the future you've got the right clients in place to ensure that you can fulfill them in the right way, and they understand what you're about. Because if you don't have that, again, I've been there, you do not want those clients. The money is not worth it, because it's what, your time is worth so much more than that. So whatever's most important for you, Make sure you write that down as part of that deal process, and make sure they tick those boxes. And you need to say, straight up front to them, I want to make sure that this is a good fit for me as well as you. And by that, I just need to ask you a couple of questions. Are you okay with that? You go through that call or conversation, however the client interaction is set up, and you make sure they tick those boxes. And that can be things like, do you have a marketing budget set aside? Do you know what your goals are? Are you willing to grow? And if they say no to any of those, you can honestly say, okay, based on that, I'd maybe like to dive a little bit deeper, because we only work with businesses that are willing to grow. And that's just going to frame the whole thing again in your favor, because now, if they've told you a bit of a lie, and business owners lie, you need to dig deeper, and it's going to, again, frame you in the best way possible, because it shows that you're not going to just, try and take a credit card off anyone. You're trying to build a business relationship. That's what you're here to do. And if it doesn't fit that, there's millions of businesses out there. And that's what you need to understand before you go into any client interaction or potential client interaction. And this kind of rolls everything into one, which is, the handling rejection and hardening your skin, the positioning yourself in the best way, and also be willing to walk. Those three things coupled together mean that you're going to have so much more success and a better close rate, because you know what you're worth. You know what results you can bring to these clients. If they don't fit that, there's millions of businesses out there. And that's why those three things are so important, because when you roll them all together, it really puts it into perspective, which is, if this client isn't right for me, there is genuinely millions out there that I can work with. Like, you do not have to be needy for a deal. You really, really don't. And trust me, there was a point, March, April, May time, where I was hitting, I was just getting nowhere. I really wanted to grow. I wanted to take that next step and put these processes in place, which would be good for the clients. We'd be able to put that next bit of software in place, which was all around sort of hashtag tracking, which was really, really important at the time, because we were doing a lot of content for clients. But you needed the positive cash flow to come in to pay for that. And that's where I was acting emotionally on it. And when people act emotionally on it, so say, for example, they've got, a tight month, it's Christmas right now. If you're trying to, get that extra money in the bank because you're quite a small business and it impacts your home life quite a bit, what you're taking in, rather than, if you're a CEO of a huge company, it doesn't affect things like that as much. But if you've got that, you're going to act emotionally. It's going to come across needy. You're going to come across as sort of like a freelancer and, someone that just wants the deal. And that's the last thing that you want to come across as being. So you need to make sure that you're seeing things as a strong business owner, someone that wants to grow their business as well as yours. And it's all about positioning. So make sure that you see yourself in the best way possible. Reaffirm all those things before you have the meeting. And trust me, if you know exactly what you want from a potential client, that is going to take you from here to here. Trust me. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it does give value. And any questions, just let me know. I just thought it'd be good to hit that off as a video rather than reply to everyone that sent me a message. So I hope that's good. And if you need anything else, just give me a shout.